Hey everybody, this morning I'm going to take this set of bypass doors and I'm going to remove them off their track because the doors are operating they're behaving badly, as a way to put it. So they're stiff, they're hard to operate, they don't have their guide at the bottom. So I'm going to remove these doors and replace the track and the bottom guide, and I'll show you how easy it is to do. It really is. It's like a piece of cake. First of all, you got to pull, since it doesn't have a guide at the bottom, you pull the bottom out towards you, almost where it's almost a foot out. It's going to try to mess with the valance up here, but you got to get it out, leaning back out enough so that you can pick it up off the track and get it to drop off. Because when the wheels kick in, or roll, follow the door in its position, the tops of the rollers will lean over as well, and that gives you the room that you need to lift it up off the track and then set it down at that angle. I'm going to turn it around right now so I can get the hardware off. Here's one of the reasons why it wasn't working right. The roller's thoroughly broken off, so that'll make it drag like a son of a gun. This one all by itself doesn't do too bad, but the track has issues. It's bent in areas, so you don't straighten these track up, you replace them. And again, it's the same thing to pull this one off. This will be easier because it won't never go up against the valance up here. So I have unlimited room to pull the bottom out towards me and pick it up and get it off of its mounts. But I'm going to freshen up everything. I'm going to freshen up the rollers, the bottom guides, which is missing anyway, and I'm going to remove the track and replace that. When removing overhead tracks, it's good to start from one end and work to the middle, and then go and start from the other end and work back to the middle as well, making the last screw that you pull out the center screw. Because otherwise, if you're taking it all the way across the end, that side's going to want to drop down and give you trouble trying to get those last screws or last screw out from the other end if you're working it that way. Okay, last screw. Now, since this door was crowding that valance so difficult, I'm going to move it back a little bit also to get it off that valance by about 1/4 of an inch, because one side was actually rubbing it at the top, so that will fix that problem. And just by chance, the hardware that I have is the exact match of the hardware that came off of the door. I just mentioned everything is identical to the original, piece for piece, so this will be easy enough. It'll be pretty much a swap out. And I'm going to get my drill to pilot new holes. They're not quite lined up with the old holes, and that's cool. Again, I'm going to shift it back a little bit to make sure I get that clearance at the valance. I'm going to bring it back about another 1/8 of an inch. Get an 1/8 of an inch bit for the 8 or 10 gauge screws for the pilot. the wood is stained dark, so I don't have nothing white to work with like the face is, so it's kind of hard to see. So I can only get my tape up there because I can't mark anything that I can see. And I'm going to put this on that 2 1/8 inch mark and see where I'm at with an old paint line. That's actually off a ways, so there we go. About 1 1/8 off the front, so. I have the screws handy, the track hasn't moved. Well, the magnetic tips are handy, but they don't do it all. That got it out of my hands, thankfully. Now I'm going to measure the other side at the same 2 1/8 instead of the 2 1/16 just to get it back that little bit. The track should be set in its course to where I should just be able to set all the screws, piloting first and then running all the screws in and filling up all the holes in the track. But I'm going to double check my numbers first because it's not too late to adjust it. Should it be off that little bit. And I'm a good 2 1/8 there. And good. I'm a good clean 2 1/8 to the center line of the screws all the way through. Now I can pilot everything and fill all the holes up with screws. Finish filling up the screw holes. And I know I've shown you this before, but there are two sizes of offsets. These two right here are for the front door with the narrow offsets for an 1 3/8 thick door. If you happen to have a 3/4 inch thick door, then you need to go with the reverse of that. But this is the ones for the back door on an 1 3/8 door. If it's a 3/4 inch thick door, then these get reversed. These go on the front, and then the narrow offset ones go on the back to hold the 3/4 inch doors closer. Okay, now we'll take off the old hardware. Okay, that's the back rollers, and the front rollers are here. I'm going to remove the remnants of the old floor guide off from the floor. Here's what was left of the other one. It didn't have any of the vertical pieces to help guide the bottom of the doors. But this is what it's supposed to look like. And all of them are blown off to where I only had the undersides that holds it all together, holds the top together from the underside. So this is all pretty much garbage because I'm going to replace it with a new one here, the bottom guide. But the doors have to go on first. This is the last piece that goes on. Okay, so now I can turn the doors around, this one, because the back door goes on first. And again, the same way as taking it out, you have to get the back out of the opening a lot so you can lean the top in to get the rollers to engage also. Okay, let's clear the valance, and now I can pick it up and hook one, hook two, and get it to swing. Make sure I'm in there, because you got to make sure that they're in the track. And there you go. Now, see this big old gap right here from 0 to nothing? There's built-in adjustments in the back to get rid of that. And fairly high above the floor, so I don't have to worry about dropping it down any closer. I could either raise it up, or I'm going to drop that side down because I have the room. But it also depends on what the adjuster's saying. I might be already maxed out one way or the other. My. I got it all the way down, and I'm hopefully that we'll be able to... Something's out of whack here. That was my drill bit index. Well, that's that one all the way up. And this one's already all the way down. Something's up. Okay, this one actually had a little bit more to go up. And short of the jamb being bowed a little bit, one's all the way up all the way. It's already maxed out. One way, the other one the other way. That's the way it's got to be. Unless I redo the whole door jamb and shim down the track, and it's just, yeah, it's... Let me see. I'm going to get this other door in there and just see what it's going to act like. All right, this time I'm taking note that both adjusters are already all the way in up the highest position the door can go. Always easier to drop it down than to raise it up. And again, same deal. Keep it away from the opening. Tuck it under. Should have moved it back even farther still. It's 2 1/4. All right, that's both rollers up as high as they'll go. So that means I'm going to take this one down as low as it will go. Wow. I'd have to drop that door head down about 1 inch on this side. I don't have that in the height. I hate leaving it like this, but it works. These guides are easy enough to work with since they have the screws that are held onto the outside, where it's just adding a screw here and adding a screw there in the back, and that'll get this guide set. And the doors overlap, so this will always be protected by the door going one way or the other. Even if I pull both of these doors going down to the other end, the other edge of the doors will still protect this to keep it from getting damaged, unless there's some really abuse going on and this gets pulled out. This can break just like the other one did. And that's working fine. And that, folks, is all what it takes. Just simply swap out your hardware. Even a new install will give you the dimensions that you need. But it is easy. If you're a visual person, you need to see how it's done first. This is the way it's done. You just simply set your track up in place with a proper centering so that the door does not get too close to this valance here. And I moved it back a little bit thinking I was clearing it, but it wouldn't have hurt that if I could have pushed it back another 1/8 of an inch. It is clearing it. Before it was rubbing, and now it's not. To fix this gap on the side, I'd have to redo the whole head, and that would be another 2-hour project, which I don't think anybody expected. I know that, but this video is just based on solely replacing the door hardware that made this door be bad, and troubleshooting it from what I see off the bat to get past what are the other problems. Again, I mentioned it before, the valance rubbing the face of the door, which made it difficult to operate, which is probably what started the whole reason why the door, the rollers were damaged to begin with, because it was just simply too close to the valance. So anyway, folks, hopefully if you picked up on something, please like and subscribe. This is stuff I like doing, and hopefully, again, that you learned something. I enjoy teaching. So again, God bless you all. You have a great time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.